Hey you guys, I'm coming on now, and I'm on live on the Loop at Robin Whitfield's TV as well, and Smooth Vibes Only, and thank you for tuning in. So happy to see you guys. So this is like my little commercial I do before we usually come on. We've been doing it for so long, and so I love this show because it's smooth vibes only. And good vibes at that, vibes that change in your community. And so some of you that don't know me, that's from different cities and stuff, my name is Robin Whitfield, and I'm the CEO of the Healing House, and you can read all that kind of stuff there. But I'm coming on with smooth vibes and some little updates in the community and all that. We have an operation, we have a location, and we heard around the world and all those wonderful things. And I'm so proud that, I didn't give up. I continued to work on the business. No matter what anybody said, I followed the leading of God, and I'm so grateful for that. All the criticizers can get back in 2026 because I really don't see you. I don't. So I'm coming on here, and I'm coming on with some smooth vibes. Any updates that you want to know about me tonight or the Healing House, you can go on the web page. Click the link up there. That web page was made last year by UENI, and I've been using them for years. And I'm so proud to be a part of UENI because they always design my web page like I want it. And I like that. So this year I will be upgrading some great things soon. But at this time, I'm just working on it until that time comes. So thank you for tuning in. I'm so grateful to be before you. This is the Loop at Robin Whitfield's TV. And I don't give it up because God gave it to me a while back. There's a lot of TV shows that's not airing, and around the world there's episodes that's not running, even in our local community, all the sitcoms and in other areas that's not running or picking up. But this one right here is still holding on right here in Atlantic City on the boardwalk, and it's growing. It's growing, and I like that. I like our TV show, what God gave us, and it may not be perfect, but it's growing, and I like that. And it's up to date. It's something that if you be on YouTube, no matter where you at around the world, you can go on YouTube and look at your phone and type in the Loop at Robin Whitfield's TV, and you don't have to worry about what is their television network, or is it Roku? Is it this one or that one? No, you don't have to worry. What if you don't have a Roku and you in the store and you need some updates? It's a great way to do it. It's a lot of AI going on that's not operating correctly. To some extent it helps, and then some extent it's not doing well, period. So one thing I can say is YouTube is holding its ground. And I thank God for the exclusive rights and little things that they send me in emails and stuff on learning how to create different content and all that. God gives you me time so you can slow down and get to those things no matter what people say. So it's a great way to start your business, to go down there and advertise it yourself when you don't have the money in your small business. You go down there and you can advertise right there on YouTube, and people hear you all around the world. Listen, we've been doing this for a long time. We really have. We've been live in Atlanta, Buckhead, and we've been just doing lives. I think I've been on here ever since I was a kid. Instagram and Facebook. I didn't have so many TikTok accounts, and TikTok just keeps saying, "Do you want to come on?" I don't need no more accounts because I have to get into the live world and go places, and it's hard to do that. Keep up with all the platforms and social media accounts and stuff. So I stay on top of the grill. I call it staying on top of the grill. Also, I thank God for Facebook letting people come on live and letting people run their business on Facebook. And social media is very important. It always have been. and stuff. And then they got glasses you can wear now. And I thank God for that because, you know, I went to the eye doctor like I told y'all before. And instead of my eyes decreasing the sight from being on so much social media, my age, it was a miracle to see that my eyes have improved. You know, one more thing, you know, I've been wearing contacts ever since I was 20 years old. And I wore the color contacts, which was gray. And so next month, I mean in March, first week of March, I'll be 62 years old. And so, and I'm grateful for that. I'm still living. I outlived my father, passed away at 58 years old. And I'm still here. And I know if he was here, he would be elated over it. But as you can see, I don't know if you see it. Do you see that eye right there? You see that eye? There's a contact in there and it's gray. And this one here almost looked like it, but it's nothing in that eye. So I wear one for driving so I can see to drive. And I wear one, this one so I can use the social media or read and continue to do my work on that I need to do behind the scenes and get the job done. But I came on, you know, with you guys for a minute or two because I wanted to give some updates here about, you know, what's going on here on this side of town in Atlantic City area with the Healing House. You know, I can't talk about other people platforms, but one thing I could say is hold on. I see I've been reaching out to a lot of different people, and those that I can, I just say, you know, sometimes people need a break and keep moving on. I use different things that I see on the platform. I share a whole lot, you know, hanging people around and in the stories and stuff. And I understand when people can't do that because, you know, people running a business and they don't have time to do that, you know. And also some of the platforms, they can afford social media workers to run their platforms when you have your little businesses that you run. I don't operate my business out of my home. You know, I have a wonderful location. It's a vending location right there and on one of the hottest spots in Atlantic City. This past year, a lot of people took blocks and got mercantile license, which is changing our area with food trucks in certain areas down here. And if you go look at the loop, I rode the whole boardwalk this morning. I took a little time to stop and take a ride on the boardwalk. It's a lot of music going on because I got to upload it and re-download it and use YouTube music. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Upper Keem for letting me use his music this morning just to get my exercise on. And I really enjoyed that. So some of you might not hear what I'm saying down here, and it's okay. But it's more encouraging that you see at my age, I'm still doing what I need to do to get this transformation done. God told me 4 visions last year, and one was location, one was transformation, and one was decreasing the expenses and increasing the income. So this year I'm into increasing the income. I did all that. And so September is probably be another vision that he gives for the Healing House. But those visions and goals that God gives us never go away. It's going to be always there because they're good goals. They came from God, you know. And Rufus only had 1 this year. The year prior to that, I only had 1, and he had a bunch of them. So this year I had 4, and I was like, oh my God, I got to do all that. But God said it, and so I'm telling you, he said it just like that, and it's just like that, I'm telling you. So, and Rufus the same thing, and only God brought us through, all of us, through 2025. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of voting, a lot of stuff going on, and it's still seeping in, you know, into the social media world, you know. And so we have to care. We have to care on a federal level because a lot of people are going through a lot of of killings around. And if you don't care, there's something wrong with you. I'm telling you. There's something wrong if you don't care. You see people in that area. Hey, it can be right here in Atlantic City. Wouldn't you want somebody to care for you? Come on, man. So, you know, I do care. I really do. And I may don't have the time, and it has nothing to do with age. Nothing. It has something to do with caring about your brothers and sisters, no matter what color they are. You know, everybody is not mean. Everybody don't cause chaos in different colors, whether it's Asian, Africans, Indians, whites. Everybody is not like that. Just because that's your problem, you know, it might be another Caucasian person that don't act like you, or another black person that don't act like you. And I can say that because I am black, you know, and I may be thinking I'm comfortable around it, but sometimes I want to run. I do. So, and I know other cultures are like that. I learned that this year. And you know, in my whole lifetime as being a nurse and all that, I was always uncomfortable in the field that I was in around other cultures. And my husband had to teach me that. He had to teach me that at a young age. You know, we've been married 30-something years into my career as being social. And I'm just learning to be social, like not too long ago. And enjoying being different into different members and different membership. I can walk in now and I just don't look at all that. I come for a purpose. And I like to be appreciated and valued when I come. If I can't do that and I'm giving you the same vibes, then I don't need to be there. I don't need to be in your presence. If I'm not appreciated and valued, why are you inviting me? You know, but before I was stressing over that stuff, you know, and people try to cause you to stress over small things, and you cannot stress over. You got to look over that stuff. And there's a lot of stuff going around about who's wearing what dress right there in Atlanta, and what pastor is doing about. Y'all know who I'm talking. I don't have to call names because it's all over the social media about a dress, man. You know, first of all, who bought the dress? Okay, and next it's too much going on to be wearing and being judgmental about a dress that was worn to another event. It wasn't even worn at the church. So I don't understand that. Stop stressing over that stuff, you know, because this is social media, and it's a whole nother different world, And believe me, if I could fit in a dress, I would wear it. I would wear the dress if I bought it. And if somebody else bought it and they, you know, I would ask them, hey, okay, thank you for buying this dress. Do you want me to wear it a certain way or whatever, you know? But if you didn't buy it and a person want to wear it, then guess what? They should be able to wear it. And then you're saying about who's first lady and who's second lady. Listen, some of y'all talking don't even have a husband. I'm going to tell you, a lot of people talk don't even have a husband, you know, and their husband is there with them, and they're not running around looking for this man and that man. And the ones that's really running off at the mouth don't have one. And if you look in their closet, it'd be a lot of mess going on, but they want to keep stuff going on, you know. So don't pay attention to that. Just keep going. Because one day there's going to be an ending point. I go through it I don't think I never get a break. Never. And I've been here in this town. Next thing I want to talk about is a dog. A dog? Yeah, I want to talk about a dog. If anybody have dogs, don't bring them here, man. Don't bring them to this town. Period. Because I can't wait to get another favor. I can't. But I'm going to tell you something. If you got one, don't bring it here. Poor grooming in this area. Poor grooming. And I just need to say that. And next time I bring me a dog, if I have to drive 1,000 miles away, I'm going to make sure I get the right dog and watch my dog, who's feeding it, who's grooming it, and all that. Period. I'm done talking about it, because if not, your dog will be dead if you bring him here to this area in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Period. that's the way I feel about having dogs in this area. Don't bring no dog to Atlantic City. Bark on that one. I'm telling you. Okay, so that's the next thing I wanted to talk about. My dog Favor and how important she was to me and what happened to her. You know, and I still, sometimes it comes and it goes, you know, because she was my girl. She was my pet. And I never got a chance to talk about that. And then when I got on social media, oh, you're getting so hysterical. Well, if it was your dog, wouldn't you get hysterical? So I'm trying to keep this smooth vibes. But don't bring your dog here. I'm telling you. And if you do, make sure you got transportation, because that's what I'm doing. If you got transportation, look out for your dog and take it somewhere where you can pay to get good grooming and good care in your community, and you don't mind leaving your dog, because our Favor was the only dog the way she looked, she was the only dog in this area that was that small, and she ain't here no more. And I hate that. I hate that my dog is not here, because she was. And those of you I had to take down off the social media, my dog keep hitting the picture. What is wrong with y'all? Keep hitting the picture on Favor when people come up doing all kind of vibe, hitting Favor. Hit your own page. Period. So we're not going to get on that Favor vibe stuff, because I get upset when I think about my dog. When I brought her for along, she was a special dog to me. So that was one thing I wanted to talk about. The next thing I want to talk about is, you know, something really special. I went here to this place here that's called EOS, and I want to show you guys this. You see that card? And if you see it, here it's EOS Medical Supply. It's EOS Medical Supply. And so EOS is the only EOS in this area that take health insurance. When you need to have support stockings, or if you need to have having problems with your legs and you need certain things to run the fluid out, like lipedema, something like that. You know, this is the first time I'm finding out stuff about me, as well as Rufus is coming along wonderful, and I'm so proud of him. Just take a look at the social media down there, because sometimes I'm running hard and I have to put stuff down when I'm really settled at night. After a long day, you'll see me dropping videos down and recreating them, or either getting up in the morning to do it, you know, and trying to help other people share their stuff so they could get notary on social, you know, get some advertisement. It's hard for advertisement. You know, some people been around here, and I'm going to go back to this. Some people have been around here and they have businesses, you know, and been around a long time. So they don't have to advertise too much. Everybody know where they're at. They don't have to get in the newspapers. Like, say if it was Tony Baltimore Grill or the city of Atlantic City, the board that been there, you know. The office down there and stuff, and we also have some of these Asian restaurants around here. Been here a long time, so they don't have to be in the newspapers. But when you got small businesses and you got new businesses coming to the area, you don't know they're here. And can they afford to get in the newspaper all the time? No, they can't. So they come on social media. They're each one share each other business. You see different content or different platforms, and you do that kind of stuff. You help others and stuff like that. So I'm grateful for that, you know, that it's very important. But this place here, I'm going to go back. I'll come back to that information. This place here is in Galloway. And they take health insurances for that. And it's hard when you're trying to come out of pocket to pay for these things. So you check them out. Like I said, Rufus found out a lot about his health care. And shout out to Clover. And I'm so grateful to have Clover for better health care in our community. And it's a PPO. I was able to go shout out to Tilton Fitness. It is right across the walk here in the Tropicana. And I was able to go over there and give them our information and you know, they take the health care card for Clover, where you don't even have to pay out of pocket to be a member. And that's our community gym that we go to, because you got to get out the house. You can't stay in the house all the time. And then shout out to also the schools and the online schools. You got Mercer County Community College. You got Stockton. I haven't even hung their event. They got some games coming up, some basketball games going to be coming up that we're invited to. I screenshotted that stuff, and I wasn't able to hang it up in the story, but I will sometime tonight. And you also have different ones having events. I'm going to pull them up that's coming up in the community. You got the New Jersey CRC. They're going to have that public meeting for New Jersey cannabis. Don't forget that, and that's January the 13th. Okay, and then in Stockton having their event. Let me see. Stockton event is starting January the 14th. Their sports center is playing against Rowan College. So you want to make sure you be available for these things and check them out. So and also you got the Atlantic City Chambers. What is it? Greater Atlantic City Chambers. And they're having their Beyond the Business card in January, and that's on the 13th. And that's at Jimmy Buffett's Martyville, and that's on 1133 Boardwalk. Just go to their website, you know, and you'll get a chance to see it. I believe that's a free event that they got going on. One of the ones I want to do is give a shout out to Matthew, and this is very important to me to give out. And they invited the Healing House to join the Walmart Customer Spark Community Program, and I'm excited about that. This invitation is a group of value customer where I can purchase a bulk from them, and also they gave me a lot of perks and stuff. I did have that meeting from Matthew, and I never came on and told y'all about it because I just been so busy. But I want to give Matthew a shout out, and this is the email here from Walmart Customer Spark Program here. And so helping the Healing House. So we was invited for that, and you know, I got to do a video for a video commercial for Walmart's, you know, and stuff. And so it's a wonderful thing, you know. And so that turned out for the best. I wasn't able to, I created the nonprofit tax exempt at Walmart's in our local community, but having that Zoom with him opened the door for me to do some understanding about donations at the local Walmarts and taking flyers over there, because, you know, who has time to do that and be humiliated while doing it? And if you know the rules, you can walk over that and keep going. So, you know, I learned something by meeting with them, and I got a better deal out of it where I can shorten my steps and don't have to do all that. You know, and I got better service. Because if you look at the platform, you'll see that all we do is going to be having food drives. Now, I'm going to tell you something. It's not easy having a food drive. It's not easy around the time that we had it at Christmas time. It's not easy none of the time, you know, because, you know, you got to go pick up stuff. It costs, and you got to ask for donations, and you got to do it at a certain time. So it's not a monthly. Don't let the sign fool you. It's not a monthly thing with us that we're doing that. And you will be informed ahead of time about the food drives, because, you know, when we do it big. As you can see, Christmas time, you can go back. When we do food drives, we do it big. And I ask God for energy for that, to be able to go pick up and do a lot of things, because I like to give stuff away. And so we might, hopefully this year, we might have 2 food drives. It might be 1. You know, God didn't show me yet, but I do see a minimum of maybe about 2 food drives this year. So that's a good thing. As far as the mercantile, the vending location for the church opening up in May here, and probably this year, I'm definitely sure we only going to be doing it once a month out there this year. And so because of other things are changing in the community, so the vending location is only for sponsorships and scholarships, scholarships, and that's what I use that for. Nobody gets paid out there. You know, we just go out there and we host, try to sell at a low price to get that. I'm not interested in food stamps and all that. You know, I did give a shout out to the USDA at that location, but once I get a permanent location, at least my paperwork is in and I can upgrade it and do that. At that location, it's just a special kind of location. I went down there the other day. I go every day to pick up my mail at the church location, at the block. And, you know, I went into the post office and shout out to the workers. And, you know, I felt so appreciated because we were missed in the community down there. And they were saying, man, where's this and where's that? So I had to inform them that when we'll be out there and what's going on. But we won't be out there every Friday. So I want y'all to be aware of it. This is Facebook, and stuff go around like hot potatoes. You would say, oh, nobody's hitting their page or nobody's doing that, because sometimes you turn the comments off, and if you don't, they see you. Don't worry about all that. So, and I'm not into a lot of followers because I don't make money on Facebook. You know, I make money out in the community and go to work every day. So I'm so grateful for that, and I was so grateful that I shout out to Elizabeth at the workforce and all the workforce people that's on the platform here, you know, giving ins and outs on BLS certifications and ACLS certifications, which I'm doing online, as well as my classes for billing and coding. All that go with my RN degree, BLS and ACLS. You know, I was a cardiac nurse, so I'm going back into that. And so I have a two-day certification in person, or either I can do it online and demonstrate it when I get there. I'm not you know, lacking on anything. I just need to see the updates and go ahead and get it done. So, because I'm true to this. So anyway, yeah. So back to this EOS. Don't forget also, you know, they got the pumps and everything, and it was great information to know that, you know, because you know, it helped people that need help with their legs or need to pump out the fluid or whatever that's going on in their system, you know. Shout out to all the cardiac doctors. The stuff that I'm learning about myself is wonderful because it never been addressed. It wasn't addressed, you know. And that's a whole platform all by itself, you know, that to talk about the stuff that wasn't addressed back in the day. And now you finding out, and you're 62 years old, you finding out stuff that nobody even told you about your own self. And you going around saying, well, I don't take medicine. You know, and so then you know there's a God. If you still standing here and living and you still alive, there is a God, because you were supposed to be not here. And so that's why I come on and I talk about God in my own way. And so I just thank God for that. So anyway, I shout out to all the ones that's here on the platforms listening. You know, I like to come on and really enjoy myself and have a good time and talk and be a part of what's going on in the community. I watch and see different things. The last thing is, and And then I'm out of here. I'll be dropping things later. I guess that's about it, you know, because I don't see too much of nothing that I need to go over. Yeah, my girl here that has, that I went up to Philly on the 5th, and I went to this place, and it's called Sweet Peach. That's it there, Sweet Peach. It's right there in Philly. And I told y'all about it before, and I can't wait to see it when she send a gold piece here. She custom made my gold piece. And shout out to Community Dental because they're doing some work on my bottom plate as well. I got little partials here that I need to fix. So and I like my smile. I got my old gap back that I was born and raised with. My father had a gap, my mother had a gap, and my brother had a gap. And so I always kept that. But I was looking at some of my old pictures here on Facebook, the pictures that memory from last year, and it looks totally different from this time. And so I'm so grateful to know that, because sometimes you can go around and you think that you looking well and you don't be looking well. You know, and don't let the mirror fool you. You don't be looking well. You know, so I took a look at it and I said, thank you, Lord. And I'm going to go out with this about change, very transparent about this, you know. I told you guys before about the cannabis, you know, and I can talk about me because I don't know nobody that want a nurse to that cannot pay. You know, and I believe they could put robots out or AIs out on all things, but the medical field is going to always be booming. That's why Luke was a doctor, you know, because medical field is going to be around until the end. You some things you can't get AI and robots to do. You need a natural hand for healing. Them hands that God made to give you water for living. You know, and so a nurse and a doctor is very important to have on board to help for healing purposes. So, you know, if I was sick in the bed, you know, every day I missed 2 weeks from exercising, being at shore and making sure Rufus was okay, you know, and I found out a lot about myself, and I was really getting tired. Christmas Eve, he was admitted. New Year's Eve, he came home. You know, and I was so grateful for that because I was you know, I'm used to him being here with me. And so, but anyway, you know, it's a difference, you know, because from living in an area with so many dispensaries around is hard. And I was telling you about how I took a break when I was in Georgia because it wasn't that type of state at that time. I don't know what's going on, what type of state it is now, because I haven't been back and I can't wait to get back. But, you know, when I was there and I came home, you know, I was rushing because I wasn't on medication and I needed to get down to the only dispensary that was on the boardwalk. And I would go in there and get what I needed while I was home. And you had to use it here because you couldn't fly back at the airport with it, you know, because it was supposed to stay in New Jersey. So, and it was illegal to do that. So, you know, now I'm so grateful to know that, and it just not too long ago, maybe sometime last year, you know, trying to wean myself and making sure that I don't have all the THC in my system because I was comfortable in the state that I was in and I used it for what it was needed for. I wasn't on medication. I used cannabis in these stores around here because my legs was hurting or my cuts from surgery was hurting, that I just thinking, hey, I guess I got to go home to glory and live with this thing. I'm going to have to live in my pain. But you don't have to live in your pain, and you don't have to be on cannabis to live in your pain either. Yes, it's a natural thing, but you don't have to live on it to do that, because some jobs and I believe in this medical field here. I know it's like that in Georgia. You can't just walk up in their hospital and still be testing positive for THC and cannabis in your system. They not having it in Georgia. And I'm pretty sure they not having it here in Atlantic City, going in the hospitals in Atlantic Care and Shore Memorial, and they telling you to pee and they test you. And they not just looking for narcotics, they looking for that too. You know, so you got to get yourself prepared when you're trying to do something and make money. Young, blind, crippled, and crazy. If not, you're going to stay at a certain level in your job area. How you gonna grow and become leaders and become managers and supervisors if your head is fogged out? You know, so the hardest thing for me to do was to get through 24 hours of not being on just the regular cannabis. I don't even drink. I'm talking about what they call it, a joint, a rollie, or whatever, a pre-roll. Excuse me, not a roll, a pre-roll. It was the hardest thing to get off of that. See, if I went around, y'all know I go to locations, different locations. I went around to ask when I was ready to go back to work and say, here, keep your Social Security, keep everything you got, because I'm carrying my butt to work, and I don't care what y'all say. I'm going to work, and whatever I need to upload to your portals, I'll do that. But I'm going to get some education, and I'm going back to work and get my certification. And I can't be fogged out. You know, I see all these women's way older than me working, and what's going on? I'm sitting here worrying about a public partnership. I'm not doing that. You know, so I was so grateful for that. But the hardest thing for me to do, to live in this town and not go into the stores and get off of it now. I've been on it for quite some time, worrying about being concerned about my pain in my legs and still going to exercise and still gaining weight, running the boardwalk every day. I got tired of that. And riding a bicycle up and down the same 5 miles or whatever miles it is out there. You know, you get tired of going out there and do that. But when you go out there for a purpose, you know, and you have to go and take care of yourself and walk. People shouldn't be out there trying to make you fall in all these electric scooters and stuff riding around. Nobody's doing nothing about it. Buying all these electric things, it shouldn't be on the boardwalk. You know, and people getting hurt up there. So the boardwalk is not like it used to be. You know, the dispensary is not up here like it was. And so I feel wonderful. And I look at my face right now because I don't have that in me. Now, say if emergency surgery, I went out and got in an accident or something happened, and somebody had to put me to sleep to save my life. Do you think I would live if I keep putting cannabis in me, can't hardly breathe, my lungs all fogged out? Smoke cannabis in a pipe. It gets dark as I don't know what. Do you think your lungs are not getting that film that's in that pipe that you get? I don't care if you're smoking hookahs or what. It's your lungs is doing that too. And I'm talking to somebody that really wants to hear that. You know, and I'm talking about myself. I didn't been there before. Smoking this and smoking that. It was very hard to get off of that stuff. You know, and so to get through 24 hours of being off of the cannabis was no joke. It really wasn't. And so I just thank God that He allowed me, because if you look, I don't look like I was looking. That's a big transformation all by itself. I haven't been in these dispensaries. I haven't been around here, and I don't knock no dispensaries. I don't, because, you know, it's better than chemical drugs. It is, but it's the way you use it and grow it, you know, and it's certain. I don't talk about it much because I ain't in it, and I don't need no teasing about getting in it. I want to continue cleaning my blood as much as I can and never go back to it. I'm too old for that. I don't need nothing to slow my brain down. I don't. And I don't need to be high off of nothing or go to sleep off of nothing either. I don't. I need to stay awake. I need to be able to see something. And I need up here to be like this. And if I'm in the business of something that I'm selling, then I don't want to smoke what I'm selling. I don't. If it was vegetables or something to eat that was healthy, wonderful. I like that. you know, it's my business. Sure, I'm going to make sure I get some of it because it's making me healthy. I'm going to give you what I serve. So that's what I operate in. Whatever I serve or whatever I eat or whatever, I want to give to the community to do the same thing because it's helping us. It's helping me, and I'm a living example of it, so I want to help you with it. But anything that I feel that is harming me, then I don't even discuss it and get in that business. And I don't knock nobody. But I just wanted people to know my age because it's more adults getting into it than it is kids, young people. Young people are saying, okay, I want the money. And the older people already got the money, so they just going and hanging out and smoking. And they acting worse than the younger people. You know, and the younger people is trying to figure out, well, how I can flip this and sell this and that. It's always been like that. It always been like that. So, you know, and then they tell you about the edibles. You got to be careful with that too because it'll sneak up on you. An hour later or two, you look and you didn't ate all the edibles. And then you look and you going nuts because you didn't ate all the edibles. Like me, I would get a bag of chips. You know, they got the what you call it, the brownies, and they got potato chips, they got drinks and stuff like that. But I never ate I never bought no brownies or the drinks. But one day I had bought a bag of barbecue chips that was cannabis chips, and chips, barbecue. I ate the whole bag, man. Man, I didn't save any of them, and so it does. It sneaks up on you, you know. A lot of this Delta 8s and stuff like that don't have no CBD and enough in there because the only thing is the THC affects the brain, but hemp heals, you know, and so we don't sell a lot of hemp around here. A lot of the stuff is in the health food store. I called the one in Georgia and the one here on Bonterras. I asked them about what they sell, and they only sell the edibles and stuff like that. Some of the doctors, but you know, I gotta find out. I'm pretty sure they got the ones with just hemp, and hemp is heals, and you know you can get hemp bombs and hemp salve for your knees and stuff like that. And I'm into stuff like that, but I'm being careful what I put in my system. Because whether it's a bomb, a cat, or a rat, you know, I just want stuff fixed. I don't want all these ailments, and I don't want nothing back in my blood system because, like I said, it was hard to get through 24 hours of just not having it in my system. It was like having a detox. And so I'm beyond, God comes first. But the only person that helped me get through that 24 hours was Rufus. He helped me. He put some word in me, and he told me this in my ear. He said, listen, if I had to go back to work and make as much money as that you would make, I would have been quit. And that was it for me when I heard that. That pushed me to the top. It really did. You know, and you know, him and you know him doing the same thing I did. You don't see him walking in these stores. You know, he does the same thing I do. So we both stay strong. That's why you see him walking into school. You know, nobody is going into a bunch of stuff trying to fog their brains out in their old elderlies. And I thank God for that. I thank God for taking me off of that, because it just messed me up. You know, I can't get on my job like that. How am I make money and do that? You know, and sitting there and keep smoking and stuff like that, it messes you up. So, and I just thank God for that. So I thank you for allowing me to share my life story. This is The Loop at Robin Whitfield's TV, and it's a great way to hang out and help somebody in the community that need help and around the world. You don't know who's listening. It could be somebody listening that needed to hear this. You know, I run into a lot of people here. This is a very diverse area here in the Midtown area, you know, and this is the Midtown area. You know, I learned something from going on some meetings there at the city, and we have some CDCs that was created here. There's some of the nonprofit corps that's in the area that received money to help different districts of small businesses. And so here in this area where the Ritz is located is called the Midtown. So we got the Midtown CDC, and then they got the CDC for Chelsea, and they got the CDC for the Inlet and all that, you know. So we got 4 of them in Atlantic City. But today, the CDC of Midtown, they have a luncheon they do each month for the 55 plus. And you could go out and have lunch for $10. Well, this is a joke I had to tell you guys. So, and then I'm going to end this. And so I went and they had lunch at, me and Rufus went, and I thought it was a good idea. I read, it's the first time ever, and I signed up for it, and the young lady, shout out to her, she called me and said, "Are you coming, Robin?" And we were jumping in the car because I had already called these people to ask them, could I be 30 minutes late? Because I wanted to go to that one. So, you know, I kind of leave my wallets and stuff home. Y'all know I trip about my wallets. So I leave them home because I have a lot of cards in it, and I don't want to get confused in the store. If I'm going for something, I take what I need and leave the rest home. It's so local. It's like around the corner if you go into the store or somewhere. Or wherever you're going, I leave it home, you know. And so I didn't have anything from what Baltimore Grill is right on Atlantic Avenue where we used to live at 2834, where we started the church up there. And so it's right downstairs. And I used to look outside at Baltimore Grill and say, "They go to Baltimore Grill." And all that stuff. So today we went there, and it was, they had their first luncheon for January, and they do it once a month. And so we were invited to come because somebody called out, you know, you got to get in like first come, first serve, I guess, you know. So we got in, and we got there a little late because she called. And I thank God she called. I'm going to tell you why. So when I got there, we walked in, and we sat down in different seats. And so the guy came over and said $10. And I said, $10? He said, "Yeah." And I looked at Rufus and I said, "Well, you know, I left. I gave him the $10. I gave him the money. You got that on you, Rufus?" I did. I had gave him $25, but I said. He said, "Oh yeah, it's in the car." I said, "Now I know this guy. When he go out in that car, he ain't coming back in here because he's tired, you know." And so I said, "Well, let me go with you so I can make sure he go out." But when I got outside, the $25, that wasn't even in the car. He left it home. But we lived right around the corner, and I wanted to go here, and I couldn't do that. So I was so grateful that she left her phone, had called me before I came, and I had the girl's phone number. I didn't want her to think I came out and never came back in. How rude. There was a lot of people there, you know, and so... Anyway, I called her and explained, you know. She said, "Well, we took credit card." I said, "I only had that money on me, and I only had no credit cards or nothing on me." But I didn't want to leave to let you know why we left. And I didn't want to be embarrassed, you know. I didn't want to be embarrassed. Like, "Dad, what y'all trying to do? Sponge, you can't pay $10 a piece?" But now I know. The guy that came up, he said, "It was right on the website." I said, "Yeah, but I missed that. I missed that, and my bad, you know. Sometimes you reading the website and you miss that when you come, you got to pay $10. Well, I think it's a great outing. I do. You know, it's once a month. Next month, they're going to be going somewhere else. I'm going to hang that in the story tonight when I get time. And once a month, you can go different places at 55 and plus if they have seats available. And you pay $10. You could treat it as a luncheon and on an outing, you know, and they have great food. So I wanted to give, I found out Atlantic Care is hosting, because when I called the number, it says Atlantic Care. So Atlantic Care is a big part of that. And I guess I got to get to know about what's going on with that, because that was our first time. Thank you for letting me tune in. I guess it's 48 minutes. I spent enough time here with you guys. And check us out. Don't forget to pass the word. God bless you, and y'all have a wonderful time this evening. See you later.